and welcome here, or welcome back. Today might look like just fun and games out riding to the four furthest points of Prince Edward Island, but it's not. Today is an important training exercise because I intend to ride this motorcycle across Canada, which is a lot farther than the four corners of PEI, but I need to make sure that I can actually sit in the saddle for 850 kilometers because I got to do that for 8 days in a row to cross Canada. So can I do it? Today is the day to find out. I'm leaving on July 27th. That's 2 weeks from now. So this thing has got to be ready. I got to be ready. And I was out for a good time, you know? So according to Google Maps, today is supposed to be 11 hours of riding. That many. Which is a lot. So hopefully it's not. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm only going to stop to film things, get gas 4 times, and we're going to see how this is going to go. It's going to be sweet. So, thanks for coming along. So I got just a little bit of trouble in paradise going on here. The drive shaft differential, whatever that's called, it's leaking. I don't know how long it's been leaking for, but it looks like it's pretty well all leaked out. Now this is a Sunday afternoon. I'm on the north end of Prince Edward Island, and there's no hardware stores around here, certainly none that are open. So it's looking like it's going to be another 300 kilometers or so before I get close to a Canadian Tire and can pick up some gear oil. I did bring my sockets. I brought my tools, so I should have tools for putting in oil. Alright, so here's what I think happened. So, after that last video right there you just saw, I came back up to the gas station. I realized that the gas station will have oil in it. Now, they didn't have gear oil here, but they had the old 5W40 import full synthetic oil, which isn't ideal. Not ideal, but it is oil. So, you know, what got me suspicious was that the whole rear wheel was covered in oil. So I dumped out the old oil, and I was thinking that when I undid it that there wouldn't be any in there. But no, like, a whole bunch came out. So what I'm thinking was that I probably overfilled it, and then the breather here just started shooting out all the extra oil, and that everything was actually fine. So now I got motor oil inside my diff, because you know, that's what was available. And I'm going to ride it like this until I can get to Canadian Tire. And then I'll dump the motor oil, and hopefully not spill it all over the place. And put in gear oil in Charlottetown. I think that's the way this is going to go. But at least my differential didn't blow up. Yeah. West Point Lighthouse. Alright, a little bit under halfway done. It's 1 o'clock, so I've been at this for 5 hours now. So maybe I just took a little bit too long with the detour and everything. The rear wheel is covered in oil, but it's not soaked. So what I'm thinking is that it's leaking slowly, but I feel like if it was like actually leaking and there was actually no oil in the differential, that it would be soaked. So I'm just going to leave it for now. The bike is running great. You know, it's in my head now, right? Like whenever the rear wheel is like vibrating a little bit, or like feel it's like maybe it's vibrating a little bit. You know, it could just be the road, but it's in my head. Well, you know, that's really it. That's the easternmost point. There's a bunch of people standing around, so I don't want to like hang out and talk too much. But I can't go down there. It's kind of lame. What do you do? So yeah, that's the abyss behind me. No more PEI back there. So I've now gone to the north point, west point. Now I'm at the east point. East point. Now I'm going to the south point. It's 4 o'clock, thereabouts. Feels like a little bit later than I really should have been. But that's alright, doesn't matter. Having a time. So quick rear wheel update. I've gone 65 kilometers since I wiped it with a paper towel. And as you can see here, it looks like the rim has stayed clean. So maybe it's not leaking more oil. Pretty good, yourself? Not too bad. I've never been on this boat or bought a ticket before. Can I still buy a ticket? Or where do I buy one if I have to?
Well, I'm not sure. I know your motorcycle, but we're not taking any non-reservations.
Okay.
So I'll double check what we can do.
Awesome, thank you.
Do you mind waiting a bit?
No, for sure.
You just want to pull over?
Yeah, right here?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because once we get a little closer and we start loading,
yeah.
And once we get a load mate in, we can ask the load mate for sure, because it's just the tide's getting lower tonight.
Okay.
And the more cars we take on,
right,
chances are getting stuck.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it's not too much for you, so that's why we just want to wait. We don't want to send you away.
No, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
Okay. Oh, and I'll just, you'll be right there, so I'll yell at you.
Yeah. Now I've ridden a lot of conditions and slipped a lot of times, fell over, never hurt myself and never been too embarrassed about it. But this is a steel deck on a boat and there's kind of like some condensation or dew on it or whatever. And man, I was really worried about eating shit. That'd been so embarrassing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to crash on a boat. All these people watching me. I have to pick up my motorcycle like some idiot. But I made it. I didn't crash getting on or off the boat. And that's one of the biggest accomplishments I think I've ever had. So that's pretty sweet. So essentially for the southern point, I'd stopped off in Montague. And then while I was there, I thought, you know, like, since I'm going to the southern point, and that's where the ferry goes out of, I should really just check the ferry schedule. And then it turned out that there was a ferry, the last one for the day, was leaving in about 50 minutes. And I was about 40 minutes away. So I hustled on over to the ferry terminal. And of course the guy here tells me that, you know, I might get on, I might not. And then I did end up getting on. But of course, by doing that, I didn't end up actually getting a photo of myself at the southern point, which is Wood Islands. But, you know, this is pretty sick. You know, I really enjoyed the ferry. It was a 70-minute ride. It's a brand new ferry. It's only been in service for a few months. And a few days after, so this was on Sunday, on Wednesday, this ferry actually had a bit of a breakdown. One of the pins locking the door broke, and then they couldn't get the door open when they crossed from PEI to Nova Scotia. So they spent a couple hours trying to get the door open, and then they couldn't. And then they had to sail back from Nova Scotia to PEI and unload everybody back onto Prince Edward Island. So then they would have had to drive back up the Confederation Bridge. And it would have been a huge thing to deal with. So, heck, I'm glad I didn't get stuck in that. But, you know, thanks for checking this out. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video because I really enjoyed making it. And like I say, this 850 kilometers was kind of like a pre-run for doing big kilometers across Canada. And this was a great day. And I didn't even wake up sore the next morning, so super pleased about that. Catch you next time.